will. So, we have our hungry barbarian.
Yep.
Not to be confused with the hungry hippos. So, we then have our all-that-you-can-eat Scottish bagpipe buffet.
Is that me?
Yes, that's you.
How thick is the bard?
Not thick enough.
There.
We then have the one, the only, the actual thick bard, the huge half-elf of Clyde.
Clyde isn't thick though.
Extra thick.
I feel like
We-
Miriam was just
We
the
then
thickest
have the bronze toothpick.
I ain't a toothpick. I ain't made of bronze. I am an artificer that will make the toothpick.
You're a bronze toothpick, face it.
Every session, we stray further from the truth.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say every
I will
session.
make.
we
I will.
have-
I will
God.
make a
And then
returning
we have
toothpick.
the only pompous asshole in the party, the high elf.
Hi.
Wait.
Hi.
Wait a minute. Valis is not a kitsune or some random
No, he's
tailed
high elf.
creature.
He's high elf.
A furry.
That's Vientis.
This is first.
He isn't a
Vientis is
tailed
the first.
creature.
What's the difference?
Let's see, one's an
Wow.
elf, one's a kitsune.
Damn. We haven't even started the session and we're already coming after Jose. Like, Jesus.
Hey, at least give me
Jesus
5 seconds to assault Naren first before you guys try to get at me.
Fair.
Wow.
Alright, so if we are good to go.
Yeah.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, allow us to get into our weekly session of Dungeons and Dragons. So, as our intrepid party last left off, finding themselves aboard a peculiar ship sailing through the seas, not finding out exactly which sea they're sailing through as per their maps not being fully up to date. After running into a rather ominous floating cloud of fog, sailing around it and betraying nothing of trying to get or belay what they have below in their mission of delivery. After about a day of sailing around and finally passing the fog, finding the fog dissipating and relieving one ship sinking slowly into the sea, while another taking off and following after their ship.
Oh no.
As we currently pick up with our party after some respite and some panic after finding out a ship following, we currently have our party gained together and gathered on the top deck of the ship near the back end by the helm as they watch the opposing ship getting ever so closer as the day starts coming to a slow end.
I'm down in the bottom of the ship, correct? With the VIP?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
You are.
So I don't know what's going on then.
No, you do not know what's going on.
And I guess I leave it to the rest of the party.
You leave it to the rest of the party.
Sorry, my dogs are barking, so I had to mute myself.
So, what would the party like to do?
So there's a ship.
There is a ship currently following yours and gaining.
So, what do we want to do about that again?
might want to prepare to actually fight it if it's
What if they're
gaining on us.
But what if they're friendly?
They came in a thing of that same smoke that tried to block our path. What do you think they're gonna do?
You know what? That's a good point.
They're not gonna make us cookies, I can tell you that.
We can try. But still, once again, what's the plan? Yes, we have a ship following us, but what now?
Can't we just,
We
I
could
don't know,
just
hurry up?
turn and face them. That's always one option. Or we could, unless there's something here we can try to divert their attentions.
Is there anything else in the sea?
I,
You
for
said
one, would rather not waste our ship, particularly my ship, as you currently see behind you. I just completely forgotten. Whiffed on her name. Fuck! I need to find it again.
Iris?
Damn it. Yes, Iris. Thank you. I keep getting picked up, and I want to go back to the Monday session.
Oh wait, Iris is actually taking charge for once? Holy shit.
The
Sorry,
captain's doing captaining things?
She simply said she didn't want to risk her ship.
Yeah, captaining things.
So, what are we gonna do about them? Are we just gonna go? And like, I don't know, head somewhere else?
Do I hear this commotion going on upstairs?
You eventually start hearing it as you soon come to realize you're the only person below decks with the precious card.
Look, I'm just gonna say this much. We were tasked to protect the cargo. And well, these guys, I doubt they're here to give us any form of cookies or gifts. So why don't we just take them out before they, you know? And even then, Val's is starting to prep a spell.
What does the ship look like?
The ship?
Yeah, the
Make
other
a
ship.
just make a general perception check.
Alright. Oh, not 20.
You need to stop weighing your dice, dude.
This is literally like the first 20 I roll in so many sessions.
Yike.
Yeah.
Yikey.
Right. So, looking back at the ship, you can see most of the outline of it is a very dark, almost solid black spruce, or even a dark oak. It's a very strong-looking ship. But ranging on the back of it, it looks like it has seen some damage. Particularly from the distance here, you can't see much of it. But it does look like an older ship, possibly something that might be used to some form of mysterious and nefarious work upon the waves. That's pretty much what you could figure.
Are we able to see any form of figure on the ship?
No, from this distance, no.
Alright.
I'm going to make my way up just to kind of see what's going on. But I'm gonna like look to the to the person I was kind of watching over and kind of go like, stay here, and go up and see what's going on.
So you get your way up the steps and looking about. There isn't much to see except you do see most of the party over the back side of the helm. You do join them and see over the back end. You do see a mixture of graying skies, setting sun, and a mixture of almost a feeling of dread as you see pretty much a ship behind you that seems to be following.
Do I is it like displaying any sort of colors or anything
No
like
colors. No colors, no figures, nothing. It is simply sailing towards you.
Are we going against the
Davy
wind?
Jones.
At the moment, no. You are currently facing. You are slightly into the wind, but the wind is currently, since you're facing in a easterly direction, it's currently blowing southeast.
And what is like how big is the ship?
The ship looks a little bit bigger than yours, but not by much. But then again, you're looking straight down the bow. You pretty much have you are the bar on the T and you're looking down the ship. So it looks somewhat bigger than yours, but you can't tell by how much.
Is the fog doing anything?
No, the fog is dissipated. And from what you can tell, it doesn't seem to be returning.
And this happened after the ship came out of the fog?
Yes.
Would I know of anything that would cause this, like any magic or anything of that nature?
Make a history check.
History. What's my history? That's a +6. So that is a 16.
16. Not much that you can tell that might even cause something like that. You are one with the realm of magic, but even some things elude your ideas and your thoughts.
Oh, welcome game.
I was asleep. I'm sorry.
Shame.
Then you're like Beth.
Except Beth has an ear infection.
Iris needs her sleep.
I'm just thinking here. Can't really do much here.
You defusing
Perhaps.
a bomb?
Perhaps we can try and face into, kind of go with the wind, try and pick up a little bit more, try to get away from it. I don't know. I don't know how big this ship is, so we can't really
Well,
be
would
sure
that
if
be
we'll
going off
outrun it.
course?
Are you saying this out loud?
Ow.
Yeah, like in character. Like I don't know.
I mean, if we just take the full winds, aren't they just gonna do the same and still catch up on us?
It's just a matter of like trying to lose them. I can't personally do anything against. I might be someone who can practice magic, but not anything that could get us away from this.
Does anyone have any water magic that we can use? Use it like as a cloaking device?
It's not that simple.
Do we
I don't
have a giant
think
cloaking device?
I don't think we're getting out of this one this unscathed. We're gonna have to do something about it.
How far? How long do we have until they would be like up on us?
About 6 hours, which
6
would put them
hours?
catching up to you pretty much just about 11 o'clock. So that would be moon. You would be fighting in the dark.
Hold on, I need to quickly check something here. You guys do your thing. I'm just quickly checking something in the player's handbook.
Alright, who here knows their ship stuff?
The distant crawl of thunder is heard rolling over the waves as it slowly catches up.
Oh no.
Maybe the best plan is indeed to just turn around and face them just deal with one problem at a time before we have whatever that sound there was to deal with.
Start feeling a gentle kind of pittering of rain as small raindrops start hitting the top deck of the ship.
And great, there's our second problem.
I'm not sure if a spyglass would count in artisan tools as like with like navigators tools and stuff like that. So I'm just looking this up right now.
All right.
It doesn't say if it's an artisan tool or not.
I would say for the sake of this, a spyglass wouldn't really be an artificer's tool or a tool set like that. I would say it would be more of a navigator's tool.
Mm-hmm. It's just that I was trying to see if I could do the summoning of do my ritual to get more to summon up or conjure up a specific artisan tool.
You could if you wanted to, but kind of art. So you would want to, well, as an artisan tool, since it's not an artisan tool, it would be a bit difficult for you to conjure up.
Yeah, and so that's kind of why I was looking that up. Does anyone have a spyglass that we can kind of like look at the ship, see if they actually are following us?
I mean, the captain should have one.
I kind of look at Iris. Like, do we have it?
She kind of opens her coat and pulls out a relatively medium-sized spyglass and hands it to you. I want that back.
I'm just borrowing it. It's not gonna be mine for long, and I'm gonna take a look, see if I can look at what's going on with
Make
the ship.
a perception check.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. But I didn't even need to go skilly bap.
Bop, bop.
That was a 23.
All right. So with your 23, you do actually see the outline of what looks to be a couple of figures on board. And as you look at them, the kind of gear you see on them is almost big and bulbous. It almost looks to be patchwork leather, but it's bulbous. And it kind of bloats their form.
Does it like look like that it's like meant for rain, or is it like
It just looks like normal gear for them, from what you can tell.
they're wearing some pretty bulbous equipment, but I can't really tell if they're trying to catch us or not. I think we might need to face them, otherwise we're gonna be doing this cat and mouse game.
Well, do we want to do it now? Might be for the best.
Do they look like they're readying for a fight?
From what you can see, it just looks like they're waiting for something.
Shouldn't we just be on our merry
well,
way
here's
then?
a simple way to know if they're
let's
tailing us.
let's try going back on course, see if they'll follow us.
Okay, so you're going off course?
Just deviate a little bit, see if they'll follow us.
So it would take a little while for you to see if they're changing course with you. But as you manage just about over the next hour, you shift into the wind And as the wind picks up into the sails, as more of it starts filling them, and more rain, the rain starts falling a little harder as it's blowing in. You do notice the ship behind you starts turning into the wind as well.
Would I know how much time we have until like we start getting like a real storm going on?
You guesstimating what you have maybe, because you're not used to seaborne weather. You're used to still island and or continental weather. From what you can tell, this might be a storm. This might just be the tail end of one. You don't know. This had just started filling up just as the sun had started setting.
Guys, I think we're gonna have to deal with them now.
All right.
Jesus.
Is everyone thinking that we should just turn the ship around?
Hey, I'd rather deal with whatever the hell is following us first, and then with what looks to be a storm.
Not
Rather
like
than
we have
having
much
both at
choice
once.
anyway.
I'm kind of like looking at everyone else, kind of like getting confirmation.
Right, okay.
It's no point in having them trail us for this long. But we should at least prepare for a fight if push comes to shove. And granted that I doubt these waters are fairly safe, I think it's best to assume that these are people that are not so friendly with us. Besides, we're freaking pirates. You think that this one ship's gonna stop us?
Well, I'm happy that we have rain, because it means that they are wet. And I'm going to hand the spyglass back to Iris. And
whatever you're planning, remember that we are wet as well.
oh, Nurum should survive.
What?
Narum should survive. He's the only survivor.
What do you mean
up,
I should
what?
survive? Now I have a
Hold
bad
up,
feeling about
what?
this.
Just because he would survive doesn't mean he will.
So you fully intend to sacrifice us, but you're okay that Niram just survives.
No,
Yeah.
not gonna sacrifice you. Why would I?
You just said that Narum would survive, but what about the rest of us?
Is
He
it
said
false?
Narum should survive.
Whatever the case, let's get ready for combat. It's not gonna be that long.
I'm going to kind of look back and kind of. I'm just thinking. Should we just turn the ship around, or should we just stop the ship as a whole?
You don't stop the ship, otherwise that's an easy picking for them to shoot you.
Yeah, we turn it.
I'm gonna kind of like look to Iris and Ryoka, sorry, and go and kind of gesture to them because I'm not really a seafaring person.
What do you need?
I don't really know too well how to pilot a ship.
Ryoka looks to Iris and is just like, well, it's not my ship.
You're right, it's not. So, what are you requesting of me?
We should turn the ship around and just face them now. Otherwise, we're gonna have to deal with them and the storm.
Yeah, I just like dealing with storms on the seas. And she kind of looks over you for a second, trying to gauge whether or not she thinks you know what you're talking about. And then she starts hand over hand pulling at the wheel, and the ship starts turning abruptly, shifting hard to port and starting to make its way around.
I guess while that is happening, I am going to. I'm just going to pull out a quarterstaff and just keep a spell ready.
All right. So you preparing to cast something, you get yourself into your casting ideals as you start preparing your hands, cracking your knuckles, doing the usual.
Since we're a couple hours out, can I do a ritual for a spell to prepare instead of casting one?
What would you like to do? So, what would you like to ritually cast?
I would like to ritually cast. Hold up. There we go. Ritually cast. Firebolt. And I'm trying to see if it is ritually
Firebolt
cast.
is a cantrip, is it not?
Not firebolt. What the fuck was the spell? Getting confused like with what my spells are. Absorb elements. My bad. In case they try to attack.
Okay, so you are preparing yourself. You sit yourself down, crossing your legs, and as you hold your hands out above you, as you kind of almost picture the spell in front of you, your mind starts melding with the arcana or the arcana around you as you start feeling the magical essence start filling into your fingers. The rest of you, is there anything you would like to do?
Rowan would just put his bagpipes down and roll his shoulders a bit before drawing his sword.
Got her dart out and started twirling it between her fingers.
Should make sure that the VIP is safe.
Well, Nerum's gonna take out his javelins and like get accustomed to the weight again.
All right. As the ship slowly starts coming to, you almost hear a
Clyde's gonna take out
horn
his
coming
flute
out.
and start playing battle music, cause why not?
So as you whip out your flute and just kind of, oh, it's on, and you start playing against the horn that you hear out in the distance.
Rowan would like to just pick up his bagpipes again and join her.
As you
We'll
pick
join
up
them.
your bagpipes and start playing into them, as the now dormant air starts filling with this vibrant music of battle and hardiness. All right. As the ship gets closer, you actually see these figures wearing this very bulbous armor. You watch as the rain starts falling harder and harder. And as the ship gets closer, as you're pulling harder and harder to port, you're feeling the weight and momentum of the ship shift. But as it's coming over and the other ship comes forward, they don't stop. They keep turning, and it looks as if they're about to ram.
Oh no.
And they start, and you watch as the sails completely, fully, full. It's full sail. They drop everything.
How close would they be at this point?
They're about 300. I'd say it's about 300 meters.
Is anyone able to do something? Fire, lightning, I don't care what it is, against those sails.
I can poke a few holes in them, but I ain't gonna do much.
I could try sending it on bio, but
I have very low range, so no.
I need to check something.
wait.
Great.
Anyone have?
Yeah.
Could I possibly use my dart and aim for like some of the rigging that would cause like the sail to fall?
You could certainly try, but that's 300 meters.
When
So
we get
translating, that would be
closer-
about roughly
900.
340 feet.
It's like around 800 feet.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because meters is 3 feet. Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
about 800 feet.
when they're like closer.
You can
I mean, by the
certainly
time
try.
we're closer, I don't think taking out their sails is gonna matter much.
Why not
Because
try
the momentum
Want
is
it-
still there.
I wanted to do something cool, but they're too far away.
All right, new plan.
I have an
Once they
idea.
ram us, we ditch whatever's in this ship. We take over their ship.
How about we have a
Um,
more ingenious plan than that? I have an idea. When they come close to Ram, and you kind of look over Iris, why don't you try to turn sail just enough for a strafe along the edge? It might damage the ship, but it definitely won't sink it. Also gives us an opportunity to at least broadside them with all of our spells and weaponry. If not, we can get close enough that I can start shooting fire bolts at them and try to get the sails on fire.
Would it be close enough to get on the ship?
I need to roll some dice. Give me one moment.
I'm going to
Oh no.
run down, and I'm going to try and because is this ship coming onto the side that the VIP is on?
VIP is below deck. Below deck. So unless the boarders or those who are attacking you get onto the ship and get below deck, you don't need to worry about them.
Okay.
There's like a cabin right here, right?
Yeah. The door
Alright.
the door is there. That's the door. This is the door.
All right.
And for those of
I'd
you
say
who are poor,
I'd
I will
say-
start screaming.
we get the VIP. He just taps his foot against the ground, just like gesturing beneath them into the cabin, because I don't think having them below deck while the ship is ramming us is a good idea. At least get them to a safer place.
I'm
You
gonna
watch as a lightning bolt and crashes into the sea beside the ship,
Here's the thing.
just barely missing it.
If they end up boarding us, probably the first place other than below deck they check is the captain's quarters or the cabin.
So no
All right,
on
but
that
they're gonna
one.
have to go through us first.
They'll have to go through us anyways.
Yeah. So
That's
I'd rather
ju-
have them in a place where they're probably
No,
not gonna
it-
get hurt, rather
They're
than
gonna
a place
get
where
hurt
they might get hurt.
regardless. That's what I'm getting at. Let's just prep and hopefully this thrifting works if Iris doesn't mind trying that tactic.
But
I think it's clear that we're all running out of time here.
if we can turn the ship just enough that they won't that they'll just scrape it, it will be fine. It will sustain less damage onto the ship that way.
You know what? Clyde's gonna stop his flute music for a second, and he's gonna head down below deck just to like warn the person.
You head down below, you notify them of possible intrusion. Figure kind of gets a little reserved into the heavy, thick burlap cloak they wear, and get the sense that they have been notified.
Clyde nods, telling them to, just sit tight. Hopefully everything will be okay, and if not, pray everything will be.
Would it be possible for the ship to kind of turn a little bit in order to dull the damage that would be done to the ship if they were to ram us?
In essence, the only way you would do that is if you would manage to turn the ship just enough to where if they hit it, they would glance off.
That's why I want to
Is
try
it
strafing
possible?
it.
So it would be, granted on the timing of this, you have a small, maneuverable ship. They have a very maneuverable ship. It would be possible. I would take Iris making a Say what? Should be a chance. Wouldn't be it would be survival. Be a survival check, wisdom, navigation. So navigator's tools check. So this would be wisdom plus your navigation proficiency, which would be All right. It's doable. It's definitely doable.
I'm gonna
So-
relay this to Iris then.
Iris nods. She's still busy holding onto the ship, making sure it's keeping its tight turn. You manage to just curve it to where just about when they're maybe what looks to be about 300 feet out, they're coming in and it looks like they might be able to glance off the hull if they tried to ram you. And there's another as another lightning bolt strikes into the waves below the ship.
Is this coming from the?
No, this is coming from the sky.
Okay.
Lightning is coming from the sky.
So 300 feet. How much time would you say until they actually get to us?
I would say you guys would have one combat round of 6 seconds before they are within range to do what they're doing.
All right. Why don't we just
So
begin
this will be
casting?
Rowan. What do you want to do with your 6 seconds? What do you want to do?
All right. Rowan would just softly begin chanting, getting out a pinch of dirt and casting Long Strider upon himself.
All right, casting Long Strider upon yourself. You do so.
I can't do anything. Everything's out of range of any spells that I have.
All right,
How close are they to us?
about 300 feet, as I said.
All right.
Give me a slight approximation of the ship. Apologies for the shitty drawing. Not the best at online drawing.
You're fine.
So, as that happens, we then have, okay, so you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. Ryuk, is there anything you would like to do? Then we have one last, we have Nero.
Nero can't really do anything. He's just gonna... I suppose he would get to the front of the ship, just so he would be ready for any boarders.
I'm gonna do the same.
So as this ship comes forward, and just as it's about to touch, you watch as it steers off just at the last second. And you watch the sails completely almost fall off the rigging, just boom. And the ship just almost completely, it becomes like it's been there for 1,000 years. It just immediately starts somewhat dissolving. You watch as the figures aboard who lining the rails just kind of and fall over. You
Oh,
watch as once again the fog starts billowing out. And as both ships almost start to collide and come just close enough for boarding, both ships come to a dead stop. The wind dies, the waves stop, and the only thing you can hear is the thunder and the pitter of rain on the deck of the ship. Everything is stopped.
oh no.
And like the ship is just not even there anymore. Like the ship is still there, but nothing.
You can see it through the fog. You can see it just touching your ship. But it's almost like it's completely devoid of life. But your ship is unable to move. There's no wind, there's no sea, there's no waves. It's just there.
Can
How
someone
far
cast-
away
Can someone cast detect magic?
He
Actually,
said
I was
he's
just
checking our
about to
ship.
do that. I was gonna like sit down for 10 minutes and like do the ritual cast of detect magic.
So, allow me to show you what the idea is between your ship and theirs.
I think they have expect us to board them. Val kind of like points out.
Mm.
Since when did this become Death House?
Do we want to give them the pleasure of doing it though, or should we strike before they can?
Just don't invite anyone onto the ship.
Well, we can may as well board. Maybe we could get the ship out of it. Worst comes to worst, but
We're
But what if
stuck
that's
here.
what they want us to do?
We're stuck.
we're stuck anyway, so we may as well investigate it.
Just hold on a minute.
Why do I hear clacking of dice?
Maybe because you hear clacking of dice. God.
Jesus Christ.
Gosh.
Please stop falling.
Gosh.
Please.
So, as both ships come to a rest, now side by side, you see no movement and no sign of life on the other ship. What would you like to do?
How far
well,
is it?
I was just saying I was gonna cast detect magic, like as a ritual.
All right, I know. I heard. That's a 10-minute thing. There
Sorry,
is
I'm back.
a lot more going on than what's going on in 10 minutes. So, as you sit down and start ritually casting, Zoram, that's your action. Clyde, Niram, Rowan, Ryoka, and Vullis. What are you guys doing?
Clyde's gonna
Can you
head up
go
the
look to see if
stairs.
there's any grappling hooks, so that way they can at least go try to board.
You could go ahead and try and look for those. Any
Clyde's
good pirate ship would have. Yes, Clyde.
Clyde's gonna head up the stairs and ask like what's going on, why did we stop? Why wasn't there a hard collision? Like he's still on the stairs, but like does that make sense?
Yes, he's still on the stairs, but as you walk up and you're talking, you're getting the same kind of blank looks from everybody. Nobody seems to know what's going on.
I'd like to just like put out Jazz hands and just go like magic. I think.
Alright.
Would they be close enough if Ryoka had like a running start to jump over and board them?
Yeah, it's maybe about 5 feet, if even, between ships. They're very close.
I don't think it's a good idea to board them.
We are not known for having good ideas.
Ryoka grins as she gets an idea and then looks to Ronan and she's like, I'm gonna board him.
I'm gonna board them too.
Iris kind of gives a very concerned look.
Board him, Captain!
Did Narum hear that?
Well, I mean, she literally just shouted it.
Okay, yeah, then he probably heard that. Give me a sec.
He's not as deaf as one would believe.
It's not that, it's more if he paid attention. Oh, uh-oh. Narum is making his way towards the other ship.
Okay, so Ryoka, Niram, you both make your way over. There is a small gangplank that you guys are familiar with that you use to board and to embark and disembark on the ship. You can use it in this instance instead of having to jump across. If you wish, of course.
Jumping would be so much more badass.
Okay. So as you jump across, and Niram, you and the wood beneath your feet kind of shrugs slightly as your weight lands on the ship.
I'm jumping over as well.
All right, so Rowan, they need me almost in your Malik-esque type and start making your way down the stairs and hop your way over.
I said I was going over before Narum.
All right.
Uh,
All right, so we have
I am
Conan,
the
we
hero
have
here.
Malik. Great. We have Conan and Malik on the ship.
Oh, jeez.
As you step onto the ship, you kind of hear this long groaning crack, this as you see just about here on the ship, there's a long crack that just starts forming.
You've doomed us all.
Not good. Not good. Not good.
You watch as the ship starts, and you have to kind of catch yourself. I'd like you all to make dexterity saving throws, please.
Can I see this coming?
And
Yes, that's why you're making a saving throw.
No, I was specifically asking due to danger sense.
Yes, you saw this one coming.
Okay, good.
Just due to the long groan, that's kind of why I gave you the hint.
Okay,
So, yes, danger sense does kick in with this.
very good.
so this is why Val did not go onto the ship first.
That is an 18 for Nerim.
18,
I
all right.
too rolled an 18.
18.
That is a 13 for me.
All right. So as the ship, it's a jarring crunch as you almost feel the ship pull apart beneath you. And as it does, and you almost get thrown from your feet, Rowan. And you catch yourself just on the edge as you're about to go over. Niram, you and Ryoka just stand there firmly planting yourselves into the ground.
Mistakes have been made. Mistakes have been made.
As you stand there and watch, as you look through the fog, you can see it gets denser. You can no longer see the ship behind you, and you can barely see maybe about a foot in front of you.
How do they feel?
I haven't put them on yet.
And you just hear the blowing of wind, the crack of
Great.
thunder, and the pitter of rain. As the boards beneath your feet start to slowly rot, and mold starts taking over.
Oh, jeez.
You do see it does stop eventually. Like as you stand there and wait, you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. You watch as it reaches a certain age and it stays there.
Can I softly just use my blade to tap one of the railings?
You pull out your blade. Bing! Nothing happens. The ship is completely still. It's almost like it's run aground.
Well, it seems stable, I guess.
Do we hear anyone nearby, or are the surroundings too loud to discern, like footsteps or anything?
So, what exactly are you asking? What are you trying to listen for?
I'm trying to listen for any other people on this ship except for us. Any
Make
creaking
a
of
perception
floorboards or
check.
anything.
Make a perception check.
That is a 7.
7. All right. Other than yourself and the ping of a sword onto a railing, you see and hear nothing. The fog is completely enveloping the ship, you, and the party.
I think we should go back. There is no
Which
one
way
here.
is back again?
Well, we jumped on, and then it should be where our backs are facing, right?
You
Can-
should be.
Can Nerim just, like, kind of use his javelin that he has in his hands to just feel out the other ship?
You take your javelin out and just start almost like a blind man. And as it leaves the railing, you don't feel another ship. And you reach over the railing, you still don't feel anything else. You push the javelin all the way to the end, which gives you about another 5 feet reach. You don't feel anything.
Guys, I think we lost our ship.
Vals kind of looks over.
I was muted.
Is the fog covering our boat as well?
The fog is covering your ship, however, it is only lightly obscured. You have watched as when Niram, Ryoga, and Rowan jumped over, you watched as your ship slowly started gliding away. Almost like something was pushing it away, and then stops just about 10 feet away from the other ship.
Is it still
Hello?
visible for us?
The other ship is not visible. It is completely obscured.
Hello? Is
It is
anyone there?
almost like trying to stare through pretty much if you covered your eyes with your hand, it is like trying to stare through that. That is how thick the fog cloud is.
Moan would just
If
begin
this is the
shouting
case, I
to
may
see.
as well test something. So I'm looking at how absorb the elements work. Let me just see if I can potentially do this without it being kind of bullshittery.
Everything in D&D is bullshit.
What?
Do you
Let me see. Sorry, it's taking a minute. My sheet's not loading correctly.
Sure. Oh,
It absorbs, I believe, the base elements of either an attack or I think what's around him. I can't tell for certain. Oh, so that's where the clicking's been.
Poppy, I swear to God, I will delete your dice.
Okay, delete them, please.
Okay, never mind. It's on pure attack. My bad. I was thinking of using the absorb elements to see if I could absorb some of the fog to figure out if what its base elements was, but never mind. Another question. Will we be able to see the spear or no?
You just see the tip of the javelin kind of working its way out. You just see that.
He decides to just go, "You guys okay over there?"
You hear a, "Are you okay over there?" from the other side.
I mean, we're not dead yet.
This
We're
ship.
not dead yet!
Can you just try and push that gangplank over to us, please?
I can see what I can do. He still has the. I'm assuming he found a grapple hook.
Uh, yes. Let's say over the course of this, you did find a small grappling hook.
You might want to back up a little bit unless you want to get hit by this.
Nerum does as he's told.
And he tries to toss the grappling to the other side.
Make an athletics check.
Okay.
Hey,
Dice.
we'll be right back.
Gone.
I have gotten a 15.
15. As you start winding it up and throwing it over, you hear it, and you start pulling it. And as you start pulling, it's like feels secure, and you give it one last pull, and you hear a shattering of wood as you see as the grappling hook manages to pull part of the railing out.
Can Nerum try to catch the end before it sails off back in the rift between the ships?
Make a perception check because you can barely see around you.
Okay. Oh god, please let this be. And that's cocked beyond belief. That's an 11.
11. You hear a tug, 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 tug. As you look around, you hear the groaning of the wood, and it as it starts breaking, and you try and reach for it, and you're just a bit too late as it snaps off and plunges into the fog below. And Volus, you watch it lands in the water, and you start pulling it back in.
Huh.
Right. Whatever you
So
did
this
did not work. Can you try the gangplank now?
try what, Narum?
Oh, that was me, Rowan.
The voices are
Oh,
distorted.
right.
Oh.
Yes.
The voices are distorted.
The long
The fog
stick
in the
you used
distance.
toward the ship.
Okay, well, I'll go look for that. He kind of whistles as he just goes to try to look for one, if they even have one.
Make an investigation check.
Okay, so they can work with investigation. There's intimidation. Never mind. 18.
18. All right.
18.
So, looking your way around the ship, you do find a small, almost inlaid gangplank. It seemed to be set into the wall just for storage. So you take that out of the wall. It's pretty much against the wall, leading down the doorway into the lower portions of the ship. But as you dismount it and you carry it over and start laying it across and push it, you guys eventually hear the scraping of wood as the gangplank does starts dragging across the base of the ship.
Can I try to feel where the gangplank would be
Yes,
placed?
make a perception check.
Yes. Perception. Give me a second. Oh dear. 10.
10. So, you're feeling around. You eventually find it, but that's after about maybe 5-10 minutes. It's slow to find, but due to the thickness of this fog, it's very hard to find.
Hey, you two. I think this is our way out.
You guys see anything on the ship?
The
Or
other
we
two,
choose following?
you start smelling something rancid. It smells like something's decaying. You get the smell of spoiled milk and rancid food. It's bad, and it's just getting worse.
That does not sound like a good sign or smell like a good sign.
You know what does sound like a good sign? Getting off this ship.
Good idea. She moves to try and follow Ronan.
But you guys keep calling me
Say
Ronan.
You say you
Make your way.
eventually all make your way back after finding Rowan staying on the gangplank as you follow his voice. You all eventually make your way back onto the other ship, and you watch as the fog still enveloping the other ship doesn't seem to dissipate.
Narum is going to make it a point to go over last. For obvious reasons.
What's wrong, Rowan? Not fancy
Niram,
ship.
make a perception check.
Here we go. Don't fail me now. That's a
Gets a
13.
1.
Hey.
13. All right. As you pick your boot up just to step onto the gangplank, it sticks a little bit, and like you hear, and you put it onto the gangplank, and you look down. There seems to be a small streak of black bile that's currently slowly dribbling its way down the deck.
And suddenly his movement speed doubles for a turn because he's running.
All right, so suddenly, as you see this, you immediately start taking across the gangplank. Ryoka, just as you're stepping off, you feel a very heavy dragon board tackle you from behind as you're pretty much thrown onto your ship.
We need to
damn
go.
it!
We need to go.
Narum!
Black.
Narum!
Go.
Damn, Marin's
He tries to
getting
shove him off her.
While they're doing this, I would like to just pull the gangplank back towards our ship.
You start pulling it back. There's no resistance. You pull it back and nothing. Nothing happens. The ship doesn't start moving again. The fog doesn't dissipate, and your ship doesn't start moving again.
Okay, well, you can't. Well, let's look for a ship. We kind of need to figure out what's on the ship if we're ever
Maybe
gonna
we
have
should
any hope.
sink them.
Maybe you'd
With
like to
what?
go over and check what's in there, because
I
I'm not going
mean,
back.
I'm fine with checking it over.
Have fun.
Well,
Bye
then,
bye.
okay, just put
How
back down the
about we
gangplank.
don't go on to the haunted ship?
So what's the plan?
Hey, Ryoka,
Yes.
can you just start throwing your dart just to see if you hit anything?
Alright. I throw my dart into the fog towards the other ship.
It impacts into wood, and it returns to your hand.
Can Valis try to board the ship if Nim gives the gangplank back?
I mean, he didn't ever take it off. He just
Yeah,
ran
he never
over
took.
it.
He
Yeah.
just,
Oh, I thought you.
he just completely
No.
lined back tackled. He just full on tackled Ryoka.
Oh, I thought someone
off
said
the board,
something
getting
about
himself
the. I thought someone said something about the gangplank.
That was me. Rowan.
Can I
Oh,
make a
sorry. What did you
suggestion?
do with the gangplank?
I have it in my hands.
Can you set it back down, please?
If you're
The gangplank
planning to
back
make
down.
something happen, please do it quick. I like the situation and that other ship even less. And you hear Iris speaking as she's currently still at the helm.
Can I make a suggestion? In order
We have. I'd like to just turn towards Iris and just go, okay, we have about 5 brain cells between us. I just point towards Valis and just go, and he has 4 of them. Give us some time.
I don't know where you got the
Ryoka
one
just
from.
Starts laughing.
That's a quote. That's a quote. We have 5 brain cells and he's 4 of them.
in order to prevent the ship from, drifting off like it did last time, if you guys are going to be boarding it, maybe you should tie onto the ship, like tie the 2 ships together. We can easily cut the rope if anything happens.
Wait, I have an
mean,
idea.
when we
Ryoka.
were on that ship, it was rotting, like, visibly. So if it breaks on their end, they're fucked. Yes,
Okay.
Rowan?
What if you tie a rope to your dart, throw it, try to get it behind one of the what is the the long stick where the sail's on?
The mast, you
Mast?
mean?
The mast. Yes,
Long
that.
stick. Hmm.
They're darts, Rowan. They're not boomerangs.
No. But you make it return, but coming from the other side. So you move a little. You move from the back of the ship to the front of the ship.
Did you not see the railing just break apart?
But
Well,
the
I
entire
suppose you
mast,
didn't,
do
but
you
like,
think the
I mean,
mast
the
is gonna
mast
break?
is a thicker piece of wood. It could break, but
It's worth a try.
it's worth a shot. Give me a rope.
I just look for the nearest rope that is not attached to anything and hand it to her.
Alright.
Valis is still waiting for Rowan to put the gangplank down so he could go board.
He finally puts the gangplank down.
Finally puts down the gangplank and pushes that out across, and eventually you feel a scraping sound as the gangplank eventually finds the other ship.
I would like to back away from the gangplank and just, make sure to keep my distance from it.
Ryoka would tie the rope to her dart and then would try and judge where their mast is.
Are you tying it to a dart of returning, or are you tying it to a dart of dart?
Darts of returning.
Okay.
She ties it to the end of the dart, tries to find roughly where their back mast is.
Okay. Make a ranged attack at disadvantage.
Okay. I mean, disadvantage ain't shit when you got a +6.
Would you like to say that again?
Say that to
First roll's
Theron.
17.
17. Okay.
Second roll's a 12. That's so 18.
18.
What?
You feel it impact, and then it returns to your hand with the rope at the other end of it.
Well, no, I
Alright.
wanted while it was flying and coming back. I didn't want to aim for the mast because you didn't really.
Just like
I wanted to
on the
aim
web.
for the side. That way I can walk, and the dart would have to turn to come back to me.
Okay, that would be an impressive feat. But
no, okay.
that's not
That-
something you could, because the way the dart returns is when you throw it, it throws out, and when it to come back to you, it pretty much comes back the same way it was thrown. It doesn't curve; it comes back.
Okay, here's the thing. Does it work as a straight line? Does it just fly back to you in a straight line?
Essentially, yes, it flies back in a straight
Okay.
line.
Basically, what we're trying to say is kind of really quick draw. Okay, so if they have we have this mask here, right? To stand
Mhm.
on like the end of the ship, throw the dart out towards here, then move towards the other side of the ship and recall the dart that way. So that the rope would be like behind the mast.
That would be difficult at best, but you could try.
Yeah,
You
but
can
the thing is,
certainly try.
we just have to wildly aim towards here, and then just recall
I
towards
got a
that side.
simpler idea. Why don't you just give Valis the rope and he can just tie a knot to the mast?
Because we have one brain cell.
These guys are literally making something so complicated while Volus is currently setting the gangplank out and saying, guys, hello.
I'm
I
right
can
here.
literally walk across.
So
Get-
I haven't detected anything with my magic, have I? With detect magic.
Your detect magic? There is definitely something magical here. There's a lot of magic at work here.
Ryoka unties the rope and gives it to Volus, and just like, you're no fun.
Well, at least it's better than trying to burn down our own ship. He
Ryoka,
says as he starts walking on the gangplank, trying to get to one of the masts.
Ryoka,
Alright.
Yeah.
we just
What?
Walking across as you envelop yourself into the fog. Go ahead and make a perception check.
we just need another
Yes,
rope.
Can
One.
I also use? Hold up, let me see if I have it. Features and trait. No, I don't have it. Sorry, I thought I had detect magic. Never mind. You said perception. Okay, this
Yes,
plus 4.
perception.
Up.
I'll be right back.
24. So I got critical 20 plus 4.
Okay. So as you walk your way across the gangplank, you look down, just making sure your feet are in the right place, and you see there is currently a small stream of black bile slowly drooling its way across the deck. And you see a boot print imprinted into it.
That's heading to our ship or away from our ship?
Yes.
Quick question.
Yes.
With the detect magic, is it just like all manners of magic that I'm detecting, or is it like specific schools that I'm detecting?
It is magic.
Just pure magic.
Magic. It is pure fucking magic.
It's very magical.
Okay.
I
As
wish I
I
played the
start-
drums.
There's a lot of magic going on around here.
No
As you
shit.
mumble to yourself up on the helm, you kind of hear Iris go, "What did you say? You're mumbling a bit."
There's a lot of magic going on around this ship.
No.
Oh,
So
and I'm not a pirate.
there's
No,
And
really?
I'm not a pirate.
it's I can't quite put any ideas on what kind of school it is.
Magic?
category
Yeah,
it is.
think I thought this was a natural phenomenon that happens in the sea sometimes.
Usually, when magic is used, it comes from some form of illusion or some form of conjuration, abjuration, evocation, etc.
I believe in the words of the brave Captain Barbosa. You better start believing in magical fairy tales.
I
You're
just
in
look,
one.
I just look back at him with an expression just magic is magic.
Yes, but I was trying to figure out if this is an illusion or if this is some form of necrotic or conjuration magic.
Well, the one thing I have to
Illusion?
say is that thing's creepy and I'm not going there again.
Can we burn it?
Vals just proceeds to tie a rope to the ship, or the mast. Though he does do something, just in case. Granted, they saw boots. He's gonna cast Silent Image to make 3 clones of himself. I just rather having a look around almost, just to give the offset of which is the real one, in case there was something on the ship.
Hold on, I want to see something here. Can I go over and kind of get close to the ship and gently touch it?
To do that, you would have to get on the gangplank and onto the other ship.
You
I'm
want to
gonna-
gently caress the ship.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
I just realized that this is like basically, primates seeing fire for the first time, just poking at it with a stick over and over again, but different ways. Sometimes throwing a rock at it, just
Can
trying
can
different
someone-
stuff.
Can someone watch me for about 10 minutes here?
You watch it. You go over and you start
Like,
caressing the ship gently.
I'm going
It feels of solid wood and rotted wood.
While he does this, could I play Careless Whisper on the bagpipes?
I would
You
like
start playing it softly. You play Careless Whisper very softly.
I would like to
Make a performance check.
17.
You don't play it half bad. It's a pretty good rendition, even though it's played quietly. It's a pretty good rendition.
So what I want to do is I want to kind of have it that I have like a hand on the board, so that way I kind of know where the gangplank is. And I want to sit down and put a hand on the ship and cast Identify on it.
All right.
You're gently caressing the wood.
As you
to make it
gently
feel
caress
better.
it, and you feel the magical essence of the spell leaving your fingertips and joining with this ship. And as your eyes fade over with almost a milky white color, it's a ship. It is a normal ship.
Just a normal ship.
Just a normal ship. Nothing magical about it. It is a ship.
So it isn't the ship itself that's magical or unique. Something about the ship, though. Something on the ship.
Okay, seeing as this ship is now secure, can you zoom out a little bit, Grip, so I can see the ship entirely? I'm assuming the thing to the right is the captain's quarters, correct?
You have no idea. This is
Mm.
completely obscured to you. I gave you a basic outline. That is what you
Okay.
saw previously.
Okay, then, judging by the large crack, it didn't open the ship, correct? It's just still fully intact?
The ship is actually currently in a V. A very gentle V.
Mm.
That's why you saw the black ichor pouring down this way.
Oh, jeez.
Since the black ichor is coming from left to right,
No, it's coming from right to left.
right to left. My bad. I'm going to go from what my character's facing. I'm gonna go left first to investigate.
All right. So you're going to the left, or are you going to the right?
Right. Now, oh God.
My apologies. Tabletop Simulator had a bit of a fuck up. The
Yeah,
servers
it-
just went down. The servers just went down.
Yep. This seemed to have slightly crashed. But hey,
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
happens, I guess.
So
All right,
I'm
and we're
going.
back.
So facing my way, I'm going to the.
You would be going to the right.
Yes, I would be going
You're
to the
going
right.
to the right.
Yeah, and I'm preparing a firebolt just in case.
Preparing the spell. Make a perception check.
— 17.
We're supposed to encounter spooky ghosts. No, until
He's trying to
Halloween.
at least see where the Leech's black ichor is coming from.
As you work your way up this horrible smell, again, rotted milk and rancid meat. As you walk closer, you see as more black bile is slowly starting to conjoin to the small stream, making it a bit thicker as it's running down the ship.
Mm.
As you walk forward, you see a hand of greenish gray flesh and scale that's currently dug into parts of the ship. And you see as the hand is covered in almost like a small stream of black bile that you've seen that's been currently crawling down the ship, almost like it's blood. And it's seeping over the hand.
Anything interesting over there?
Well, I found the hand. At least that's what it's excreting this black,
What hand?
tartish blood.
What do you mean hands?
I'm saying
I-
you see a hand and it leads further connected to something. It doesn't look like it's severed. Saying that's
Oh.
what you stop and first run into.
Okay, so his movement kind of slows as he approaches a bit more, but from a clockwise, so he's moving more to the left now, just to see if he can get a better view. His palm starting to emit some flames as he did have the prepared firebolt, just in case if this thing jumps at him.
Okay. So, your way around, you start seeing more and more of this corpse. You start seeing the rather bloated armor of almost a thick leather. As you look at it, it almost seems like it's almost like almost like a camelback. That's what it looks like. It's bulbous because it looks like it's supposed to hold liquid. And as you continue looking at this corpse, you see is more of this black bile files up, and from the arm up into his torso that looks to be about maybe 6'1" if they were standing up. And the creature has a long aquatic tail. You see as the fins that protrude from the tail are very membrane-like, very veiny as well. You can see black bile escaping from the orifices of that as well. You see as it leads up into the body, it's a very aquatic creature. It looks like it's something that's meant to be underwater. And you see hints of scale and fish scale leading up into a greenish purple body. It looks very rough and hewn. And as it continues up, you can't see underneath the armor, but you do see, as you get up towards the head, two fins that extract from both sides of the face, and then one that comes up almost in a fin from the nose towards the back of the head. And as it lays there, you see as it's currently in a pool of what looks to be this black ichor, while the bile is seeping out of the body and down the deck.
What the fuck kind of creature is this? He kind of looks over it. I found the
In
cause
essence,
of.
here, let me. One moment. I will see if I can find one creature for you.
I think I know what creature this is. Out of character.
That is what it looks like.
Oh,
And it's currently laying before you, dead.
dead. Okay. Mm, I'm trying to think. He kind of looks over his shoulder a moment just to make sure no one was there. And he does call out. I found the body of some fish creature. I haven't seen it before, but um, I believe it's causing the bile.
I'm going to make my
Maybe
way
we
over.
should leave it alone.
It also could be one of the causes of why the ship isn't gonna go sailing anywhere. If we leave things alone, we're just gonna be stranded here.
I'm gonna make my way over to kind of take a look at this, hearing like, since I'm still on the ship.
You make your way over, and make a perception check. Just trying to make your way over towards Volus. This would be at advantage because you do have the trail of the bile.
Okay. That's cocked. Better. I need a better rolling space. Okay, so
Stop using weighted dice, damn it!
it's not weighted if the
You know
dice
what?
are just
Sometimes the dice just love you, and then other days, they want to see the world burn.
And other days, they let great axes fly into people's chests.
And almost completely sever their breast.
So that's an
The
18.
one boob wonder.
So that's 18.
Oh god, you can make a bad poem.
So it's a 14
Poetry with
plus
that.
4.
Okay. You do, following the pile of, or the pool of bile, following through, you do eventually find Volus and this disgustingly bloated creature that seems to have this black ichor kind of seeping out of its every orifice on its body.
Maybe we
Do
should.
I know what this creature could be?
Make
recognize
a history check
Oh, good, I'm
at
really good with
disadvantage.
those. Oh, disadvantage, okay. Okay. That's let's see. History plus 6. So that's just a 10. That's a 10.
No, you have no idea what this creature is. The flesh looks greenish, and at the essence of getting up to the fins, it looks almost to be a purple. The flesh looks very gamey. It's it looks like it's supposed to be an aquatic creature. The flesh itself looks completely dry and pasted, but you see the flesh that's currently just about seeping out from underneath the jacket or this armor that it wears looks to be as still fresh and still almost hydrated.
Maybe we should toss it overboard?
Probably not the best idea at the moment.
Okay,
And
well,
just
he's
hold on,
gonna.
hold
this
on.
thing reeks to high hell. It is bad.
Okay, I do want to test something though. Since Wallace is wearing gloves, can you touch some of the bile to see if it's acidic with the leather, like a
Hey,
light
be my
brown?
guinea pig for a second. Go touch that bile.
Well, it's not like someone's gonna volunteer.
Like, is he grabbing me?
I mean, guinea pigs are very useful.
Well, we don't have guinea pigs.
What is he doing?
Wallace is like kneeling a moment. He is holding his breast on, and he's like kind of lightly tapping the bowel with his gloved hand to see if it's acidic in nature. If not, it could be safe to grab or not.
Yeah, fair enough.
Does-
Fair enough assessment.
The bile doesn't seem to be acidic as you touch it.
Well, we can at least touch this the bile. He says as he kind of looks over, is there anything else of note besides the fish creature, aside from its armor? It's at a glance, at the very least.
You do see what looks to be almost a tube around its neck. The tube looks to be a thick leather collar that leads all the way around to the front. And you see the front of it has almost a small latch.
The tube to the collar leads in. Maybe it's a breathe. It's some type of breathing machine.
Can I kind of figure out the purpose of like why it's so bloated and stuff? Like why the armor is made and the device is made the way it is?
Make an investigation check.
Good question. How is it found? Oh God.
Investigation. So that is a 16.
All right. Looking over the armor, you kind of poke it slightly, and it almost wobbles like a waterbed. It's like this. The armor is filled with liquid.
Does it seem like the creature is kind of almost like waterbound, I'm guessing?
Or waterlogged.
You can guesstimate that. From what you've taken of it, you can possibly guesstimate this is probably a water-based creature. You don't know.
This is getting very weird. I don't think this creature would probably
Well,
be something that would go on the surface as often. So,
it could be that it's just rotting along. Yeah, if you've seen the
still
rotten fish,
feels
well,
weird.
I don't think that's safe for woodworks. Look, no, Rowan, why don't we just toss this thing over? That way we can stop dealing with the black bile across the ship.
Did you
Then we
just
can investigate it
I'm on the
further.
other ship at the moment, on our ship.
Oh my
did you
god,
just call me
getting confused with the
Rowan?
fucking name.
Oh, you got confused with the
Zoran.
name. Nice.
Ah, yes, it's something. I was gonna. It was either Zoran or Rowan. God dang it.
Question. How do we sound?
I mean, I can hear you, Ryoka.
Because I got my new headset and trying to.
Yeah, Cam, we got you. You're good.
Okay.
We can
Anyways, why
try
don't
and
we
throw
just
him over.
toss this thing overboard so we don't have to deal with any more of this black bile protruding out. That way we can explore the rest of the ship.
I guess I'll
With-
help try and like carefully kind of avoiding touching them kind of idea.
How about we just... Okay, I'm assuming there's railings over here, right?
Yes, there are railings to the ship.
Can I try to break the railing so that way we could just push the fish creature into the sea?
Sure. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Gotcha. I got a 17.
You eventually manage to break through. And you kind of... and the rotted wood finally gives way.
Alright, let's move this thing. Fish.
I'm gonna push it with my
Person.
quarterstaff.
Yeah, you pushing it with your quarterstaff, Vullis, you pushing it with your hands. This is a heavy creature. It seems like it's weighed down with something. And as you push it, you see you leave a black smear of this ichor and bile. As you push it overboard, you watch it and immediately start sinking into the water. And you watch as where it was left, the black ichor and bile starts floating to the surface immediately. It almost looks like an oil spill.
At least we won't have to deal with that for much longer. Come on, there's still the rest of the ship. Maybe there's some device here that's preventing us from the wind from going, or at least to clear this fog.
Should probably check I guess the cabin area would probably be best. I think we're at the front of the ship.
As he turns around, Vals is gonna turn around.
Right, you turn around.
And is gonna move towards the Raja's ship. What are these two orbs, brown orbs over here?
Again, from what I told you, everything is obscure. It
I
was
know, but he's
previously what you had
walking
seen. I'm
this
letting
way.
you know. I'm just letting you know.
Mm,
You make your way towards them.
yeah. He's like following back, kind of looping around the mast. So I was thinking, wouldn't he be able to see that since the mast and the barrels are like...
You can see maybe a foot in front of you, and that's being generous.
Okay.
So as you make your way around, make an investigation check.
Yes, sir. At least I have
I'm
a
gonna
plus
stick
3.
with Volus just in case.
Investigation plus 3. That's a 16, 17, 18. That's a 19.
So as you make your way around the right side of the ship, pretty much
Mhm.
putting one foot in front of the other, just making sure nothing happens, the two brown orbs, as you would call them, are not there.
Mm.
Look over, nothing seems to be broken. There are no skid marks, no scratch marks. It's gone.
Um,
Thought
I'm
I
gonna
saw
try
some.
and make my way towards like I guess like the back of the ship kind of area. See if I can find an entrance that'll either like go into like a cabin or anything like that. I'm trying to like make my way to the back.
And Vals will be following.
All right. Both of you make investigation checks.
That is a 17.
16.
As you both wander your way through, you actually run into just about in this area here an open trap door that leads to the below decks that you can see. It is completely dark. There is no light.
He kinda looks over his shoulder. Should we get the others for this, or do you think they're not going to be willing?
I'm actually going to use the top of my quarterstaff, and what I am going to do is I'm going to use it as a I'm gonna like have it that use my magical tinkering and give it the property to shed light on the tip.
Okay. So turning your quarterstaff into a flashlight as you and poke it down in the hole.
It will project 5 feet of bright light and an additional 5 feet of dim light.
You illuminate a dark hole.
Well, at least we know it's not that blood from that fish creature. He rather calls out, anyone else gonna get on this ship? We found a latch to the lower levels.
Is there anything dangerous on there?
Not that
Not
we're
yet.
seeing. Sure then. Why not?
I'm gonna kind of like lean down, kind of give a little sniff.
Make a perception check.
Ooh, that's nice. 22.
Smells of mold, mildew, seawater, and something else you can't place. As you stick your nose into it.
Is there a ladder there?
Nope.
So it's just a straight drop down. Okay.
Straight drop.
Wait, how long is my quarterstaff?
Quarterstaff, I believe, is be 6 feet long.
I'm going to like kind of like poke around down with my the light end of the quarterstaff, kind of see if it'll illuminate anything down there.
You poke around, nothing.
Seems like a pretty long fall. So that's like 16 feet of not being able to see anything.
Again, mist
Oh,
and the fog.
so the fog is like even down there. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
If anything, it seems to be coming out from this hatch. So as you stick your light in there, it illuminates nothing.
Okay.
Just the air around it.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of pull it up and kind of put my put it up so that way, if anyone's trying to find where we are, they can kind of locate us a little bit easier through the fog.
Okay.
Why
Rowan,
don't
do you
we
make your way
just-
across?
Yeah, I make my way across and just try to follow their voices through the
Okay,
fog.
make an investigation check at, I'll say, an advantage because they are trying to help you.
Alright. First roll is 9 and a 20. Alright. Weighted dice coming through again.
Yep. So as you make your way across, you do hear them talking to each other, and you do make your way over. And as you talk to them and hear them talk, you manage to make your way over towards them, and you see the small lantern light being shed by the top staff of his quarterstaff from Zoram.
Alright.
I guess I'll try and carefully kind of test to see if I can get down there. So I'm gonna like kind of grip onto the edge of the trapdoor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna kind of carefully try and lower myself until I can feel either like the floor or anything.
You lower yourself. You feel nothing. You kick your legs around and abound. Nope. There's no floor beneath you. You don't see the walls ahead of you. You don't see the walls behind you. You are just floating there. The only thing you have is contact with your hand on the edge of this hatch.
So it doesn't feel like there's anything down here, guys.
No, and you're only holding on to this by one hand, so I'd like you to make an athletics check, please.
Oh God.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Athletics, you said?
Yes.
Oh gosh, that's like a plus.
And this is when one of the players got to Brazil or something.
So that is a 13 plus 1, so that's 14.
14, all right. You hold on to it and you start feeling the strain on your arm like you are a heavy creature and you are not used to this physical exercise. You're trying to hold on the best you can, but it's getting hard.
Hey, can one of you guys, grab on and kind of lower me a little bit more? Hello?
You know what Vals is gonna do? Remember the grapple hook that he had? Great.
How could I forget?
He is going to move back to tie it to the mast,
Okay.
and
Make
then
this will be, just make a survival check.
okay. Survival, wisdom +2, 17.
17. It seems secure. You pull on it and it seems stuck onto the mast.
Okay, okay, well, fuck it. He's gonna toss the rope into the hatch, and unless who the heck's on the edge? Is it
It's Zoram.
Zorm? Zorm, mind moving a moment?
Mind helping me up for a moment?
He kind of tries to pull Zorm out.
Make an athletics check, please. As Zoram is currently holding his staff in one hand, pulling him to the edge of one hand. You'd pretty much be pulling him out by yourself.
Oh fuck! I got a 14.
You're so heavy. You're trying to pull him up, and Zoram, you're just there like, really? I'm not that fat.
I'm gonna try and give Valis a hand on this.
All right, go ahead and make an athletics check at advantage as you try and help, as you're trying to pull this dragonborn up.
He's a dragonborn and he's a high elf. Obviously, there's a difference in weight.
Wait, what do I need to roll again?
Wait, I'm the one rolling, right?
Rowan's over there, not you, Clyde. You
Oh,
never said you
okay.
came over. You never said you came over.
Athletics?
I asked if I could help, and then you're like rolls. So I'm like, oh, okay.
If you want to help, you could go over to the other ship, huh?
Oh, yeah, no,
Huh?
I'll stay on the ship.
Alright,
I'll
well,
stay where it's safe,
Yep.
even though it's not safe.
so 15 is my, well, 12 plus 3 is the highest roll.
Say you both just managed to. You almost feel your backs give out as you're trying to pull him up pretty much single-handedly. As Zorb, you're just there's like, wow, I really need to lose some weight as you're slowly being pulled up from this hole.
I'm pretty sure Zorm is like the least heavy person here. In terms of ratio.
I don't know,
So-
man. Valis is right there.
Yeah.
I heard my name. Since Valis has the rope, he's going to check it down, see if he can hear a sound of any flooring. And this is
You hold it and you throw it. Thunk. You hear the sound of rope hitting floor.
Okay, Vaz just immediately goes to slide down.
Slide down. You land pretty much after maybe 15 feet.
I'm gonna follow after.
I just realized that's wide for a ship. Huh.
It's a very deep ship, yeah. And as you land, and you look down and you see you've landed pretty much in a small basin of water. And it's just about up to halfway up your calves is water. And Zorm, as you land and you cover your lower legs in water as well.
Be following
Rowan.
them.
Rowan sighs loudly before also following them.
Landing in the water. You being a little bit shorter, landing in the water, and it covers it just about up to your lower knees.
If I had a wind spell, I'd use it, but I don't have anything for this.
All right.
Um,
You are in uncharted territory, gentlemen. Welcome to the jungle.
does it feel like there's a specific area that the mist is like moving from?
Make a perception check.
Okay, so that is a 16.
Doesn't seem to be coming from anywhere, but you do hear a and a rattle of metal, like something trying to hit a gate on a cell door.
From which
Lads.
direction?
You have no idea.
Well, lads, we're not alone in here.
Move slowly. Make sure. How
From
much,
what
how
you can
much rope
tell,
do we have left?
in the small space you boys are in, you are in a small, tight, and cramped hallway. As you back up, your back hits wall, and Zoram, your back hits the outer hull of the ship.
I'm gonna do something here. Let me see here. What do I have here? I'm going to take the take out of my Dungeoneer's pack,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna pull out some of the rope,
Okay.
and I'm going to kind of like grab onto the other rope, make sure I kind of know how much more we have left of it. Like kind of how much more rope we
Yeah,
have
you
left.
pull the rope out, and you have just about 50 feet of rope. You use just about, 20 of it getting to the hole.
You said it was 15.
Oh. How much rope do you have? So, because he's saying how much rope are you saying is left in the grappling hook that was thrown down?
Yeah.
Okay. There's maybe about 5-10 feet.
Okay.
And I would like all of you down below in the under part of the ship make a perception check, please.
Okay, perception.
That's an 18.
Okay.
Gonna grab
I got
whoever's
a
closest.
23.
I got a 13.
13. So, Volus, you're the first one to notice this. As you hear a of metal, of almost like a metal boot hitting the deck. You don't know which way it's coming from before you look down one way, coming from what would be this direction. And you see a pale glowing light pretty much where a just about your chest height would be, and you kind of see it wade left to right. You go, doof, 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 doof. And it's getting closer.
That Valis is like slowly turning pale at the, assuming this light and the sound, and he kind of points over and says, "We need to move right now." I'm assuming there's an exit way or a secondary
You
way
have
behind us.
you have no idea. You just hear the constant getting closer.
Mm.
I'm holding on to the rope, right?
Yes, you are holding onto the rope.
I'm going to, I guess, grab Volus and kind of like show him like that, show him the rope.
Volus, you feel an arm kind of grab onto you as you see the outline of a figure. Looks to be about human. And from what you can see, wearing a bristling suit of plate armor with a pale white and blue glowing gem in the center of it, carrying what looks to be a long greatsword just dragging behind it, and a shield over its left arm as it's and it stops just as it looks at you. And you see as its mouth slowly starts opening.
Rowan would slowly draw his sword.
Valis slowly looks up.
And you
His
see as it
hands.
drags this great sword out in front of it and puts it in front of it. And as it looks at you and watches the mouth dislocates and drops further, and you see as the whitish blue gem starts turning almost into a corrupted black and green, and the mouth starts growing horrible fangs as you see the same black-like bile starts pooling from the eyes, almost like tears of blood. And the veins bustle on the face and neck with these black, iridescent light. And as it looks at you, you watch as its teeth grow to an abnormally huge, extraordinarily long, meant for tearing and piercing through meat. As its great sword lays in front of it, you watch as the shield drops. Its other hand slowly comes around in front of it, grabs the great sword, and starts lifting it overhead, almost extremely quickly, just. And as it stands there posed, that's where we'll end today's session.
Ah, dang it. I knew there was something in here. God dang it.
Well, maybe if you don't fuck around, you won't find out.
Well,
I have
Hopefully
a feeling
this-
I know what this thing is, and I don't like it.
I feel like
I
it's
don't know what
alright.
this is. I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. We're in danger.
Plate armor and a
Always
greatsword.
in danger.
Yep.
Sounds like a raid for some reason.
With a
Keep in
pale,
mind,
it had a pale white and blue gem in the center of it. And you watched as the gem slowly turned greenish black. And then it seemed to turn hostile. But that is for another time.
Dang.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I do hope you enjoyed today's session.
Very much so.
It was geek.
I hope you look forward to joining me in the next session. Those of you in the stream, if you're still here and managed to watch all the way through, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. If there are any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to ping me, DM me, message me. I don't care where it is, whether it be DM or by the server. I do not mind. But if and without further ado, I bid you guys farewell. I hope you have a nice rest of your weekend. Is it Saturday yet? Ciao for now.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Now, thanks for everyone who stuck around. You already heard Grape saying thank you, and you know, next Saturday is probably gonna be D&D again. Hey, guess what? Stream's kind of over. I'm probably gonna raid someone now. Let's see who's on. There's even anyone online who can raid immediately. Just need to check my list shortly because I don't want to just raid anyone, you know. Oh, you know what? I think I know who I'm gonna raid. Where are they? So, quick explanation. I'm gonna say you over to Sunaru. Real swell guy, plays a lot of Monster Hunter, does some editing and music and stuff, and he's pretty cool. And hope you have fun with him. Alright, so again, thank you for hanging around. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully next week's gonna be D&D again. It isn't by my hand that I decide this, by the way. That's all great. Like, he's the one who manages all of this. I'm really happy that he does this. And yeah. Have fun.